And another update to a First Alert 6 investigation. Last week, our Mike McKnight told you about this Eyesore property at 45th and Pratt. So people living nearby told us the garage door would sit wide open, inviting others to dump trash. Now, a few days after we aired the story, the fire department responded to a fire in the basement. Now, neighbors sent us these photos. Take a look at this. They say someone picked up the tires, cleaned the backyard, and boarded the property to keep it secure.